Am I the asshole for not allowing someone to go in front of me when ordering food at the airport? So I just got off my flight and I was really hungry. I can't eat much of the food they had on the plane because of personal reasons. I was waiting in line at a restaurant in the airport and it's almost my turn after 5 people ahead of me. So when it comes my turn, the guy behind me says to the cashier before I can order, "Hey, my flight is boarding soon. Is there any chance you could make my food now?" To which I reply that I was in line first. He kinda gives me an acknowledging nod, then is about to say something else to the cashier, but I cut him off and say, "I'm really hungry," 'cause I was kind of annoyed because he did not ask me for my spot, just the cashier. I felt this was rude, so I looked him in the eye when I said that. The cashier informs him it would take 10-12 minutes for the food and he rushes off saying, "All yours, sir," as if I was the rude one. If he had asked me nicely I may have said fine, but he didn't, so I was not polite either. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. I hate people like this. We all have places to be. It happened to me at the pharmacy. Girl cut in front of the line and me when it was my turn with, "I'm in a hurry." The tech goes, "Sorry about that." I said, "No, you're not. If you were, you wouldn't let that bullshit happen. Everyone in line has somewhere to be," and gestured to the line. The tech didn't say another word. Not the asshole if he's in that much of a rush. He needs to go to one of the shops that has ready-to-go food. Not the asshole. That dude drives in the breakdown lane in heavy traffic. Not the asshole. If he wanted food, he should have shown up earlier before his flight was boarding and gotten it. His time management issues are not your problems. He can eat a snack on the plane or just get a snack from a shop in the airport real quick. Most of the time, the little shop sells like a salad or a sandwich. Not the asshole, he should have asked you instead of trying to bypass you. Entitled Sob. Not the asshole. That guy is the kind of asshole that sits in your seat then gets upset when you expect him to go sit in his middle seat while you sit in the window or aisle that you paid for. Am I the asshole for feeding my dogs before my stepsister? I, 18F, live with my dad, his wife, Jackie, and my stepsister Mia, 13F. My dad was paralyzed from the chest down in a car crash 5 years ago. Jackie and Mia moved in 4 years ago. We're a very happy blended family. The only issue that I have is that Mia is kinda spoiled. She pretty much gets whatever she wants whenever. She's usually a very sweet kid overall, which is why I'm questioning if I'm being an asshole. Jackie left on a business trip last night. Before she left, I told her that I would handle making dinner, bringing Mia home from track practice, and general tidiness of the house. I would also continue to take care of my 2 very large Great Danes that I was given my grandmother. My family plays with and snuggles them, but they are my dogs. Mia's chores were the dishes after dinner, bringing her dirty clothes to the laundry room door, and taking the trash out. It all seemed fine when Jackie left. Well, I went to pick Mia up from track this afternoon, and when she got into the car she asked for her snack. I said we had food at home, but I didn't bring any. She said her mom always brought a snack for her and kinda pouted. When we got home, she stayed in my car when I went inside. I left with my dogs before she came in. When I returned, she was crying at the kitchen table. I asked why and she said that I hadn't prepared a snack for her and she was so hungry. I told her she always had access to our pantry. She said it wasn't the same because it's always already ready for her. I went to feed the dogs and she asked where I was going. I told her and she started to cry at me that I was heartless and only cared for my stupid animals, and that I needed to make dinner right that second. She then ran upstairs and slammed the door. I called Jackie and told her what happened. She was confused because Mia knows she's always welcome to food. I know she's adjusting to her mom being away. So am I the asshole? Edit. Update. Not the update some of you were all looking for. Mia came downstairs while I was making dinner about an hour later. She said she was sorry for yelling and gave me a hug. She just had a hard track practice and a difficult pop quiz at school and was expecting her mom. We made dinner together and are watching a movie with my dad. Thanks for all of your comments. Not the asshole. Mia is a bratty teenager who is testing boundaries. They tend to be asshole occasionally and usually quite dramatic. Just continue as usual. I would not make a big deal of it. Feelings are big at that age and sometimes the world is just evil. I would fix dinner as planned, remind her to do her chores and ignore the tantrum. Unless she throws another one tomorrow. Not the asshole. Mia is 13 and has access to the pantry. She can get her own snacks. Not the asshole. Kids get hangry, and they get bent out of shape when their routines are messed with. Like you said, she's adjusting to her mom being away, which is also rough. But she's 13 years old and had access to food. A tantrum was not the way to go, and she's old enough to know better. I would let her know kindly but firmly that while you understand that it's hard to have her mom gone, you aren't willing to be yelled at while you're doing so much for her, and you'd like to have a fresh start at dinner time. Not the asshole. Pubescent kids are gonna lose their damn minds for no good reason sometimes. Not the asshole. She's not a baby, she's a teenager. She can get up and get a snack herself without pouting like a toddler. Not the asshole, you aren't her mother. She wanted you to pay attention to her, cook for her and do everything her mother did. She may be missing her mother, but this is a chance to build independence and realize other people won't treat her like her mother will. How often does her mother go away? If this is first time, then she will likely be upset, so needs some reassurance. She's 13. She's more capable of waiting for her dinner than the dogs are and can grab a snack herself. Just make sure she doesn't take the frustrations out on the dogs. Am I the asshole for kicking my mom out of my house after she stole my, yes it's pathetic, houseplant? I'm gonna keep this short because I just really need an opinion on this. I, F22, have recently moved into my first apartment after ages of trying to find a job after college. It's been a pain, but I've managed to get away from my mom and dad. I've been here for about a month and 2 days ago my parents came around the house for dinner. Now small side note, my partner passed away last year and I've really been struggling without him. The last thing that he gave me for my birthday was a very small houseplant, one of the ones that pretty much survive forever if you take care of it. So anyways, after dinner I clean up and I notice it's gone. Of course I go into absolute panic mode because it's the last shard of my past partner. I look all around the house for a good 30 minutes and cannot find the thing. So of course I get suspicious. It's hardly difficult to lose a goddamn houseplant. I call up my parents and my mom seems really suspicious when I ask her about it, and after further questioning she eventually gives up. She stuffed it into her handbag with her and took it. Of course I was pissed and demanded it back, and my mom kept on saying, "It's not a big deal honey. It's just a plant." So despite my saying it's the last shard of my partner that I physically have left, I haven't spoken to her since and I've really been considering going over there and giving her a piece of my mind. But at the end of the day it is a plant and she does collect them, plus, it's my mom. Am I the asshole? Get the plant, cut off the mother. From what you said about getting away from your parents, it might be time. Not the asshole. P.S. Who steals a houseplant? Not the asshole. It is completely bonkers to steal another person's plants, even if you collect them. I really like cats, but I can't walk into a friend's house and steal their cat. It is absolutely a big deal. She knew exactly what she was doing and my guess is it's a long pattern of mental abuse from your family. Go over there, take back the plant, and tell them you need some space from them. I highly recommend working with a therapist to undo the amount of damage they have done to you. Mine has been a lifesaver. I'm sorry for your loss of your partner, and I hope you get your plant back. Did not expect this many comments. I appreciate the support and I'm really considering going over there and taking it back. So she just wanted the plant and decided to steal it? Like you'd never notice? Pretty strange stuff. Not the asshole. She needs to explain herself. Not the asshole. Even if it wasn't sentimental, who TF steals a houseplant and then lies about it? Such weird behavior. Did she give it back? Look at this from the outside. A person came into your home and stole something from you. Period. You found the thief and she confessed and uses that excuse it is just a plant. You in fact are starting to feel guilty because you unfortunately are related to the thief. If it is just a plant, why won't she return it? Go to the house and take it back. It can't be that hard. Am I the asshole for refusing to immediately replace an item I broke? A guy I've been seeing invited me to have dinner with him and a married couple he's friends with last week. The dinner was mostly uneventful, they were polite and we had good conversation. Towards the end of the evening, I excused myself to go to the restroom and on my way there, accidentally knocked a trinket bowl off the edge of the counter, and it broke. I let the hosts know, was greatly apologetic, and I offered to replace the bowl. Originally they had said it was fine and that was sort of the end of it. I wasn't embarrassed by the situation but just did my best to put it in the back of my mind, and that was that. Skip a few days and my date gets a text from the husband, asking if I can replace the bowl. Date let me know, obviously not a big deal, but I was a bit worried since this couple is clearly in a different tax bracket than me. Husband and I exchanged information and lo and behold the bowl is nearly $1,500. Not going to lie, I kind of shit my pants on that one. It also made me slightly upset because while it was my mistake, who precariously places a bowl that expensive on the edge of a counter? I let him know that I didn't have that much disposable money, but asked if they would be willing to accept a payment plan, or give me some time to save. Up till then he'd been polite, but it quickly turned into, "Your lack of finances is not our concern," and they suggested I open a credit card in that case to purchase the bowl immediately and pay it back later on my own time with interest. I barely just paid off the veterinarian debt I had racked up on my credit card and shot down that option. Date is on my side and considering no longer speaking to them over this since the bowl didn't have any significance to them. Family is completely on my side. I feel terrible about it all, but just don't see opening another credit card as an actual option here. Wondered what Reddit would think since I've never had a conflict worthy of a post. Am I the asshole? Not only are you not the asshole, but I'm calling bullshit on that being a $1,500 bowl. Something similar happened to my parents who were staying in an Airbnb. I know damn well people don't generally leave rare antiques lying around Airbnbs, so when my mother told me the host was trying to charge her, I did a quick Google search and found out the same, rare vase, was about $29 at HomeGoods. I think you are getting shaken down. If they can afford a $1,500 bowl, they can afford homeowners insurance. Not the asshole. The bowl is nearly $1,500. That's insured territory. Not the asshole. If a bowl costs $1,500, maybe don't leave it on the edge of a counter. Also, they originally said it was fine. Why are they backpedaling? This feels less about the bowl and more about reminding you who has the money and who doesn't. You're not the asshole here. If they can afford to spend $1,500 on a small trinket, they don't need the money immediately. They seem very pushy and telling you to open a credit card is unreasonable. I would be asking for receipts before handing any money over. Not the asshole? Do they have proof that their bowl cost $1,500? I call scam. Honestly, I would ask for proof that that bowl is actually $1,500. It's also how old now? And has lost its value. We don't even know if it was shipped or cracked or anything like that. I think it's a huge expense and you need proof that that actually is an expensive bowl and they're not trying to scam you.